Alright guys, welcome to NextGenRugga. So this is the third installment of Prospects Turn Pro, and we'll be looking at 4 top level prospects that have signed pro papers to various unions. So if you're new to the channel, please don't forget to click that subscribe button as well as bell notification, and as soon as a new video is released, you'll be the first to know. So let's start off with a bang. First up, Keke Morabe from Welkom Gym. He's an 8th man and he signed his pro papers with Western Province. And Keke is just an unbelievable talent, guys. I mean, he's still at Welkom Gym at the moment. He's under 19 this year, but he did play SA schools in 2018 and 2019. In terms of a pathway, Western Province didn't make many signings last year, obviously because of financial constraints. So what's good about that is that the path for Keke, in my opinion, is very clear. I think the junior loose forward structures will very much be built around him as a player. And I see him very much as a specialist 8th man, but maybe there's a possibility the senior ranks are closed off a bit by Augustus. So perhaps there's an opportunity to switch to open side. I don't know what the story will be, but I do know that you can expect to see Keke Morabe definitely in a reckoning for Super Rugby much sooner than his peers, for example. And no doubt about it, he will be part of the SA Under-20 team next year, and I think that team has definitely got everything it takes to bring home the cup instead of our usual 3rd place finish. So yeah, Keke, very, very talented player, very special player. I've had lots of opportunity to speak to him, very down-to-earth guy as well. So I don't know, he's just a great young guy, and I think he's going to go very far in the game, and I definitely look forward to it. And he's definitely got everything it takes to become a Springbok one day, guys. I really do believe that. And I think he made the right choice by going to Western Province. I think it was a very good signing for the player and for the union. Next up, Mambo Mkhize. He's at Westville Centre and he signed his pro papers with the Sharks. To say that Mambo's a special player is very much an understatement. I mean, you could basically call him a South African Sonny Bill Williams, in my opinion. Just the handling is unreal. The offloading is by far the best in the country in his age group. It's not even close. And the way that he opens up play as well, he's just light years ahead of his peers in terms of development. In my opinion, he's very much a specialist inside centre. And I think if he sticks to this position, that's where he's going to get the most traction. But there's obviously Jonker and Mkhize in the junior ranks of the Sharks that will provide competition. But I think the nice thing is that Reinhard Jonker, exceptional talent that he is very versatile. So Jonker can play at fly-off, he can play at fullback, he can play at outside centre. I think you'd even make an amazing wing, to be honest with you. Although I like him very much in the first phase of play. So I think there's a very clear path as well in terms of the senior team. There's quite a few players that have gone overseas in terms of the centre positions. I'm mainly thinking of Esterhuizen in this regard. So I definitely think that he'll adjust quickly and he'll mature very quickly. And before you guys think otherwise, just remember that Fussy basically wasn't part of SA schools, wasn't part of the SA Under-20 setup, and yet made his Sharks debut in that sort of era. So don't be surprised if Mambo doesn't do the same. And that's what I like about our school youngsters. Mambo's another one that I've had a chance to talk to, and very, very humble, very motivated by his religion and his community. And I think that's a big reason why he's staying in the Sharks region. I mean, that's his home, and I think he'll become a Sharks legend one day. I really do believe that. Next up, we have Sihlalo Benge from Queens. So he's a fly-off and he signed his pro papers with the Lions. The thing with Benge is that he's so gifted that he just makes everything look easy. But in my opinion, the one thing he might need to work on a bit is his conditioning. I think the thing with players like Benge is that they've just got so much talent that they probably don't need to work as hard as their peers. Now, I'm not saying he's not a hard worker. Believe me, that's not what I'm saying. He is a hard worker. But I think if he goes from 80% to 100%, he could become a world-class fly-off. I really do believe it. And I think it is very, very smart moving him to the Lions, because in terms of the junior ranks, there's a very, very clear path for him to develop. And I definitely expect him to be in the reckoning for the South African under-20 squad next year. Who knows if he'll make it? I mean, there's a lot of quality there, but I think he'll be in the reckoning. But if you even take a look at the senior ranks, I mean, right now you got Alton Janchis and you got Molenze. So Benge will fit in nicely there, which means there's a very clear path for him to rise to the top. And the thing with Molenze as well is that he's also a versatile player. So you could end up seeing a situation where Molenze moves to centre perhaps, and Benge is playing at fly half. 3 to 4 years he should be playing Super Rugby. Definitely. I mean, even sooner than that probably. And like I said, I think if he puts in that work, which he will, because, once you get to the senior levels, they don't let you rest on your laurels or they'll boot you out. But I think if he really puts in the hard work and he really puts in the effort, just that extra 20% I'm talking about. I'm just talking about that extra 20%. I think he'll go exceptionally far in the game. And I definitely look forward to seeing how he develops. Do yourselves a favor. Look at his performances at Gram Rugby Day. You'll just see this guy just oozes talent. Very, very classy player. And, definitely looking forward to seeing how far he can go. Then last, but definitely not least, Seb Lombard from Paarl Boys. He's a prop and he signed his pro papers with the Bulls. There's not much I can say about Seb except for just watch his game, guys. Just go through his footage and see what a special player is. And he was a regular for the 2019 team, and he was the only grade 11 regular in the team. He just absolutely battered his opponents in the scrum. Now, the thing with him, he's not very active on social media. He really does prefer to stay out of the limelight, and that's what I like about him. That's what I like and respect about him so much, is that he doesn't do a lot of talking. He likes to stay basically out of the limelight and likes to do his work, and that's the type of characteristics I really like in a prop. And I do believe that he is one of the best prospects in the country across all positions. I mean, he's a top 5, top 10 player. And in terms of talking about a pathway, about who's blocking him or, how he's going to get to the top, it's pointless because, in my opinion, it doesn't matter who's in his way. He is going to the top. Seb Lombard is an absolute beast. If you watch the Monument game, he gave the Monument pack a torrid time. And the Monument pack is one of the best packs, if not the best pack in the country. And Seb didn't stand back. Him and Reiniger were very dominant in terms of the scrums that day. Very, very special player. And, in terms of the Bulls, Jake White just coming in there. Vessel du Plessis taking over in the youth ranks. There's good times coming for the Bulls, guys, and that's definitely a video that I'll be doing in the near future, no doubt about it. Anyway, so that's the end of that video. Thanks a lot for taking the time to watch. The next video is going to be up on Wednesday, and we're going to be looking at the top 10 first teams of the last decade. So do stay tuned for that, and have a great week further, as always. Cheers. Bye.